Hello, I'm Dr. Robert Bostic, Superintendent of Schools for Stafford Municipal School District, and I'm here with some news that you can use along with your family to keep you in the know. I'd like to welcome you back to another special presentation of at-home learning. Our mission statement in Stafford MSD is that 100% of our students are going to graduate college or career ready without remediation. And that means you at home too. Today you're going to hear from some of the magnificent educators who will walk you through virtual lessons. For more updates and further instructions, feel free to visit our website at www.staffordmsd.org. We'd like to thank all of our parents, the media personnel that helped to make this possible, community leaders, faculty, and staff members of the SMSD community, as we continue to stay connected throughout these tough times.
Good morning, boys and girls. It's Miss Hobbs and Kelso and Lily. We wanted to say hi and let you guys know we miss you very much. I miss getting to say hi to you at the front door every morning. I miss your warm hugs, and I miss the way your faces light up when I walk into the classroom. I miss your beautiful smiles. I miss your smart answers. Boys and girls, we love you. We miss you so much, and we hope that we get to see you again soon. Take care. Be safe. Bye for now. Bye, boys and girls. Bye, boys and girls. Bye.
Hi, I'm Miss Hedgepeth. I'm a pre-K4 teacher at Stafford Elementary School. Now we're going to play our compound cup game. What are compound words? Compound words are two separate words that you mash together to make one big word. For example, ear, ring. Now let's play our game. So, all you need for this game are styrofoam cups, markers to write the words. You really can use any cups you would like to use, and if you don't want to write words on them, you can draw pictures on them to help you find the word. All right, let's see. On your mark, get set, go. Fish, fish. I found the word fish. Wonder what goes with fish. Ooh, star, fish. I found a match. Ear, ring. Let's see. Ice, cream. Cup, cake. One more. Basket, ball. I found all of the matches. Another way you can play is by doing it with a timer. So, if you ever want to see how quickly you can make compound words, you can time yourself or have someone time you and say time's up to see how many compound words you can make. All right, let's see how fast I can find these compound words. Ooh, I found ring. Okay, ring. What's the match to ring? Where is it? Where is it? I found it. Ear, ring. Let's see. Fish. Star. Star. Fish. I found a match. I hope I don't run out of time. ice cream. Ball. I wonder what goes with ball. No, I ran out of time. Oh man. Now that we've learned our compound words, we're going to play alphabet bingo. So, if you want to make this at home, all you need is paper, and you can actually write the letters in squares and write a free space. And for the objects, you can use any objects you would like to around your house. You can use beans, you can use cereal, you can use small toys, anything you would like to fill in your bingo squares. So, for this alphabet bingo, we're going to practice our letter recognition, where we have to identify the letters on the chart. And we're also going to be practicing our letter sounds. So, first what you do is I'll ask, what sound does this letter make? And you'll tell me the name of the letter and you'll tell its sound. All right. This is letter A. Ah, ah, ah. Letter M. Letter F. C. K, 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 k. T. R, 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 R. G, 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 G. B, 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 B. And let's see, and I get a free space. Ooh, bingo, I won the game. So, there's different ways you can play this game. The next way we're going to play, we're going to match lowercase alphabet to uppercase alphabet. So, you can cut out construction paper or find an object you can write on, and you can write the lowercase letters on the object. So, I have some shapes here and I wrote the lowercase letters and I have to match them to the uppercase letters. So I'm going to fill in my free space. My free space is there. And now I need to match my lowercase to the uppercase. Whir, whir, whir. What letter makes that sound? R. Let's see. Lowercase r, uppercase R. Like in fish, F. T, 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 t. Lowercase t. Ah, ah, ah. B, b, b. Here's the lowercase b. Lowercase m. Only two more left. I almost have bingo. G, g. Lowercase g. K, k. Lowercase c. Bingo! I won the game. All right, so the last way to play this game, you can say words that begin with the letter. So if I say bear, bear, I have to think about what beginning sound I hear in bear. So bear, I hear B at the beginning of bear. So I'm going to find B and put my object on B. What else? Turtle, turtle. I hear the t sound in turtle. Cake, cake. What beginning sound do you hear in cake? I hear k, 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 k. Let's see. C, k, k. Monkey, monkey. I think I hear at the beginning of monkey. Green, green. I hear the g sound, G. Rabbit, rabbit, rabbit. Rabbit. I hear the r sound in rabbit. R makes the r sound. Family, family, family. I hear in family. What letter makes the f sound? F. Apple, apple. I hear the A sound at the beginning of apple. A makes the A sound. And I have a free space. Bingo!
Hello, my name is Gina Hippolyte. I'm the art teacher here at Stafford Elementary, and today we'll be drawing a butterfly. The Texas standard today is the Elements and Principles of Design, which is TEKS 1B, as well as TEKS 2B, which is Creative Expression in an Effective Composition. This is for grades K through 5. The vocabulary words that we will be using today, the art vocabulary is value, shape, line, balance, unity, movement, and pattern. The parts of the butterfly vocabulary that we will be using today is thorax, abdomen, forewing, hindwing, and veins. We will begin with a modified lesson, which is a simple version of what we will be doing today. We're going to start off with the head, the thorax, and the abdomen of the butterfly. A butterfly has 1, 2, 3, 4 legs, 2 eyes, and of course the antennas at the top. The forewing and the hind wing. The forewing is higher and larger. Than the hind wing. Once you have created this, you can stylize it to your perfection, which is adding shape or lines to create it the way you would like to see it. I'm going to use hearts and squares. And when it's complete, it will look like this. And next, we will draw a butterfly from the side perspective. When we create this butterfly, we're going to do the same thing as we did above. Head, thorax, and abdomen. 1, 2, 3, 4 legs, antenna. But this butterfly will be facing the side view. We will draw a rectangular shape. And extend the line from here, repeating that, but first starting the letter V in the center, and then bring it down. At the tips of the wings, we're going to make a curved line that will continue all the way down with circles in the center. All right. In order to unify the lesson, you will have to add a background behind each butterfly. I'm thinking nature will be a good idea. So to simplify nature, you will draw a zigzag line for the grass and flowers using a line, a circle, and short lines around the circle. If you prefer, you can draw a circle and then a semicircle on the side of those flowers, as well as the sun. For this butterfly, I've already pre-drawn it, so we're going to go ahead and color it. Using oil pastels, we will go in with light green first, which is value. A value shift is when you use light to dark using the same color. So we're going to go in and curve the light greens behind the butterfly. And then go in with dark green to shade the outside. We want the entire leaf to be filled with that green oil pastel. If you don't have oil pastels, crayons will work just fine. Oil pastels can be smudged, so if you feel like you need to take your finger and rub it in a little bit, you can do so. Just keep shading in the same direction that you were doing. So up down movement on the side to create a texture that the edges of the leaf are jagged. And just going in and filling in all the white spaces. It's okay to leave some spaces blank and white because you can go back in with your light green. To give it a little value shift. Blending light green and dark green together. So everywhere you see a white space, go ahead and shade it in with whatever color you had last in your hand, switching from light green to dark green until all spaces are filled. When you're finished, you want to have a light blue and a dark blue oil pastel. You want to start off with the lightest color first, and you want to shade in the wings of the butterfly. You want to do the same up and down motion, not loose, but very tight. This is what we're doing. We're creating the veins of the butterfly. Those are the thin lines in between the butterfly. So starting from where you stopped, you're going to shade in the dark blue. Bringing those lines down. It's okay if you wiggle the oil pastel down a little bit. It will create the veins we were talking about, the thin lines on the butterfly wings. And wherever you see blank spaces in between your drawing, it's okay to go in with a little bit of light blue. Again, this is value shift, switching from light to dark using the same color. The best way to blend this is to use your finger again to smudge through, and then to go in with white oil pastel. And you want to keep the white at the very end of the wing. The last oil pastel you will use is black. You will color in every area except for the white dots. Leave that the same color as the paper. Coloring around those white dots. As well as the head, the thorax, and the abdomen. And when it's all complete, it will look like this. I hope you guys enjoyed drawing a butterfly with me today. Please stay safe out there, and I'll see you guys soon.
Hi, my name is Mr. DeGracia, and I'm a music teacher here at Stafford Elementary. Following Texas standards, today we're going to be using musical terminology, which is 1B of the TEKS, and reading music notation, which is 3A of the TEKS.
Well, there's the time portal. I hope I don't get sick on this jump. My new space boots share your feelings. Quick, Revlon, how many years after 2020 is the year 42,020? That's 40,000. You are getting so good at maths. Are you being sarcastic? Mr. DeGracia, can you use your guitar to show Creflon how I feel about his maths? One major chord coming up, Captain. Oh, well, when you say it like that, you really are happy with my math. Oh, now they have a chance to see the outside of our ship. Yeah, it looks really high-tech. Do you really mean that? Mr. DeGracia? Oh, I guess you'll need to find another ship to take you home. Why are we in year 42,020, Captain? Well, yes, this would actually be the day NASA's Voyager 1 spacecraft will finally be closer to the next star system. It's carrying a recording of the best sounds and music Earth has to offer. And just in time. What do you mean, just in time? We broke it. Can we fix it? Can you go back in time? It has always been our destiny to break the golden record and re-record it. But we don't know the first thing about Earth music. Mr. DeGracia?
Well, to help out Cursor and Creflon, we're going to explain two concepts about what Earth music is. So it's got harmony and rhythm. Harmony is how sounds relate to each other. And rhythm is when sounds happen in relation to a steady beat. So music is just what sounds you make and when you make them. So getting into harmony, we're exploring how sounds relate to each other. We've got this sound, and this sound. The way they relate to each other is a nice major harmony. Sounds kind of happy, sounds kind of complete. If we have these three sounds, put them together, we've got minor harmony. Minor harmony tends to sound a little older and a little sadder. Harmony gets more advanced. It actually gets a lot more complicated than that. I'll give you a little taste of it and we'll get back to major and minor. So here's major, minor, and I told you it got more advanced. So here's a whole tone scale. So this sounds like you're in a dream. And here's something they use in horror movies called the 12-tone row, where I use all the notes in random order. So that was intense. We saw what harmony could do, how advanced it could get, but we'll take it back to just major and minor and do a listening activity. So remember, we're looking for which one is minor. The way that you'll do this is you're going to listen for which one sounds older and sadder. You'll hear two examples. Here's how it'll be. You'll hear two examples, and then you're going to tell me which example was minor, which one was older and sadder. Right? Number one. Number two. Right, just to hear it again because it was short. Number one. And number two. Right, and number two was the minor one. Maybe Mr. DeGrassi needs to work on his poker face a little bit because I don't want to give it away with my face. So I'm not gonna smile or frown. See what we can do here. So let's try another one. Number one. Number two. Right? We do it again. Number one. Number two. And number one was minor. All right, let's try another one. And number two. Again, number one. Number two. And number two was minor. Okay, let's try this one. And number two. again, number 1. And number 2. And number 1 was minor. Right, let's try this one. It's number 1 and number 2. One more time. Number 1 and number 2. And number 2 was minor.
Hi, my name is Coach Jones. I am the PE teacher here at Stafford Elementary. We have a lot of great games and activities that we do with our students. Today's lesson is on sports stacking. Sports stacking has been around many, many years. It was started in Colorado by a teacher, PE teacher there. And they have done wonderful things with this. Kids love this activity, and our kids here at Stafford Elementary love it too. In this activity, as we said before, is eye-hand coordination, patterns, and also task completion, starting a task and then completing a task. Whenever we start sports stacking, where we start on one side, go all the way to the end, go back to the beginning, and then continue the pattern. So we always used one hand, our strong hand first, our weak hand next. The stack we're going to do first is called a 3-3-3. Right, we have 3 cups in this first stack. We take our strong hand, put it down, and the weak hand and put it up. That's called an up stack. Second, up, and the third one, up. You notice I'm using both hands, and you notice that I am going in a circular pattern as I go across. Now, the rules say I have to go back to the beginning to take them down. So I start off with my strong hand again. You always want to go toward your strong hand for this. Strong hand, weak hand, strong hand, weak hand, strong hand, weak hand. After you get that down, the basics, then you just up stack, up stack, up stack, down stack, down stack, down stack, and keep going until it becomes a very fluid movement. Now, I'm not that good at it, but the world championship time, the world record time, is just over 2 seconds. Right? That's how fast kids are getting at this now. All right? So, once again, like I said before, the pattern starts with your strong hand, weak hand, strong hand, weak hand, strong hand, weak hand. Then you go back to the beginning before you take it down. Strong hand, weak hand, strong hand, weak hand. Uh-oh. If you have a fumble, you have to fix it. Strong hand, weak hand, and then you're finished with that stack. This is called a 3-3-3. All right, the next stack magically appears, called a 3-6-3. Start off on the same side again. Start off on your weak side and move to your strong side. Strong, weak. In this case, you put 3 in your strong hand, 2 in your weak hand. Strong, weak, strong, weak, strong. Strong hand, weak hand. Rules say you go back to the beginning to take it down. Strong, weak. You slide to the outside, stack, strong, weak. All right? That's called a 3-6-3. So let me do it again one more time slow for you. 3, 6, 3, take it down, and take it down. 3-6-3. That's the second stack that our kids learn. The good thing is that our kids already know these. So hopefully if they're watching this is a chance for you guys to get it. Now the cool thing about speed stacks, yes, you can have these fancy cups, but you can come up with your own cups. If you have some Dixie cups at home, any old cup will work. I wish I had some extra cups around here. But all you have to do is you have a set of plastic cups at home, stick a hole in the bottom. It should still slide out and work pretty well. All right? Now, the last stack I want to show you is called the cycle. It's a bunch of moves where you go from 3-6-3, 6-6, 1-10-1, back to 3-6-3. We start off as we did before with the 3-6-3. Up with the first, up with the second. 3-2-1, make your 6. Strong, weak there. Go back to the beginning. Take it down, and with one hand, I'm going to come over here and I'm going to make my 6. Then I'm going to make my 6 over here. In this one, when you're taking this 6 down to get to your 1-10-1, you use this stack to take down this stack. 3 in this hand, 3 in this hand, slide, stack to the middle. It's like magic. Strong hand, weak hand, this starts your 1-10-1. We have 5 in one hand, 4 in the other hand. Strong, weak, strong. Go to the middle. Now I have a 6 stack again. Strong, weak, strong, weak, strong. I'm going to make an X pattern to take it down. Right. I know that's a lot to digest. The good thing about our kids, you already know how to do this. But the thing that's magic about speed stacks is that, or sport stacking, is that you are always trying to get faster. So you can always use a timer, just like this, to time yourself, and then as you get faster, you can keep getting better times as you go along, right? So, and then, I know my principal love hearing this one, you can compare those times, the elapsed time, and see how much faster you're getting every time. So, in fact, let me do one. 3, 6, 3. My time that time was 6 and 115 thousandths of a second, or 6.115. Now, if I did it the next one at 6.100, that means I'm 15 one-thousandths faster. So for our 4th grade, it makes a difference. You need to have decimals down to at least 2 digits down there. So anyway, great activity for math. If you're in your younger grades, this is great for subtraction and addition. So we have 3 here, we have 3 here. You put them together, you make 6. So if you have younger students at home, great for that. Anyway, but speed stack sport stacking is one of our great activities here that we do at Stafford Elementary. And hopefully you enjoyed this lesson. I know that now that you're stuck at home, that you might not have the equipment that we have here at the school. So the next part of this is to show you that you can make some of these items, some of the exercise items that you might need at home. Now, very first one, I think probably one of the best exercises that you can do at home is jump rope. It doesn't take up a lot of space, and now that we are kind of sheltering in place and we're stuck in one place all the time, a jump rope is probably one of the best ways to get exercise. If it's good for boxers, it's good for us, right? So if you don't have a fancy jump rope like this one at home, any length of rope, any type of rope that has a little bit of weight on it will be a great jump rope. And let me show you how to measure this out. Right up, not only jump rope, you can use an extension cord. You can use anything that has just a little bit of weight that allows you to swing. So let's get a little bit length of cord here. Best way to measure it is to put it under your feet and then measure right under your arms. That gets you close to the right length. I'm going to take my old-timey scissors because I know they cut really well. Now, one trick with this fusible rope, you could get your parents to burn the end of it, but why go through all that when all you have to do is put a knot in the end, and it allows you a good handhold for that rope. I'll put a knot in both ends, and then our rope is perfect for jumping. All the same tricks that you can do with a normal rope, and I made it myself. Okay. Our next one, because I do like weightlifting, and then weightlifting in small weights or lighter weights is great for kids. You can take normal household items. Number 1, water bottles. Water bottles are about 1.5 pounds, 2 pounds each. Perfect for a youngster. You can bicep curl, tricep exercises. You can do military press, squats, just adding a little bit of weight, and then after the exercise, you get to drink it because we all know we need to drink water, okay? Now, the last one of the homemade stuff I think is a great one, and I just found this one out because CrossFit does, the CrossFit exercising does this a lot. A backpack. Backpack on your back, fill it with some books, you can do your squats, you can do some lower lifts, lift overhead. You can put this on your back while you do some jogging in place. You can do squats while it's on your back. I use a over-shoulder backpack, but I'm adding weights, turn sideways so you can see it, adding weights to my squat by having a heavier backpack. And the great thing about it, you can add weight or take out weight depending on your age and depending on your strength, right? Now, some of the essentials to have at school, at home. A ball of any kind. A big ball, small ball. You can basketball dribble. You can throw and catch with your friends. You can play wall ball. You can play roof ball, which I've done for lesson plans for my kids virtually. Small ball, playing catch with your parents. I love just throwing a ball against a wall and then having it come back to me, or have a competition against people throwing wall ball, playing ball, throwing the ball against the wall. So between small ball, big ball, a jump rope, a backpack, anything that you can throw and catch with your friends, great at-home activities. If you don't have the equipment, you can make it. Abdominal strength is very, very important to us here at Stafford Elementary. Strong core means you're a stronger person and you're going to be more coordinated. So this is one thing I discovered last year, that if you don't have this piece of equipment, you can come up with it yourself. Ab rollers are very popular. An ab roller is a wheel with handles on each side that you go out, you roll yourself out from your knees, and then you're tensing your abdominal muscles, working out those muscles. I have found that in the nature of making your own equipment, a skateboard works great. If you have a skateboard at home, works great for ab rollers, and you don't even need a helmet for this one, all right? So you put your hands right in the middle, don't put your hands in the back because it will do a wheelie on you. Put your hands in the middle, toes plant on the ground, knees on the ground, and what you're going to do is go out as far as you can until you start feeling that strain, but you're not going to lose control. All right, one more time. Out again and back. Out again and back. You can probably tell I do this a lot. I can go out really far, so let me go out one for you. But it's really, really smooth, and it's another piece of equipment that you don't need to go out and buy. Now, if you don't have a skateboard at home, you definitely can do crunches. You can do planks. Plank is one of my favorites. Just get in this position, hold it for 20, 30 seconds, rest for a little bit, and repeat 4 or 5 times in a row. Not out of the question, is really, really good for you. Now, overall, like I said before, if you see equipment that you want and that you want to use, make it if you can't get out of the house to go get it.
Hello, my name is Karen Grant, and I am the STEM lab teacher here at Stafford Elementary School. So, our lesson is going to come from the Texas Essential Knowledge and Skills, Chapter 126, 1 and 4. And basically it says, in this lesson, the students will gain the ability to code computer programs using creative and critical thinking skills while solving problems using digital tools. In today's lesson, our vocabulary will be code. This is what we're going to code into the computer to tell our program what to do. Communicate is going to be when we program, and we're going to program into the computer the data that's going to be transferred. And then we're going to debug our programs for any errors.
Who let the dogs out?
And we're going to get those bugs out. And lastly, we're going to have a design. This is going to be our model, our sketch, or our plan. So these are our vocabulary words for today. So we're going to talk about Scratch today. But before we begin, I'm going to give you the materials that you'll need. All you'll need today is a notebook and a pen. And let's not forget our imagination. So we're going to start with the basic components of Scratch. So here are parts of Scratch. The first thing you're going to see when you open Scratch, it's going to be scratch.mit.edu. We're going to click on Create. And once you open it, you will see this stage. So the first component is going to be our stage. It's kind of like actors. When actors get on stage, they need something to do, they need something to say to convey a message. So this is our stage that you'll see here to your right when you open your screen. The second part is going to be where your sprites are. And when I'm talking about sprites, I'm not necessarily talking about the soda that we're drinking. I'm talking about a sprite can be any character. It can be a football. It can be a doggy. It can be Captain Marvel. It can be anything we want our sprites to be. So whatever our sprite is, this is what we're going to program. We're going to put codes in it, and we're going to make sure that we keep those bugs out of this program. So let's begin. Now that we have our sprites, we're next going to move to our third area, which is going to be our scripts. Scripts are what you're telling the actors to say. So in this instance, our scripts are going to come from our block palette, which is number 4. This would be our block palette, or sometimes called our programming palette. And this gives us commands that we can click on. You will have multiple colors of blocks, and whichever color you click on, that color block will appear here. Once we decide what we want our sprite, which is our actor on the stage, to do, we will move those blocks to the center here. Once we move it to the scripts area, then we're going to press our green flag and we're going to watch our commands in action. So this is basically our parts of Scratch. So now we're going to work together on a Scratch program. Are you ready? Awesome, because I am. So now it's time for us to go to our computers. Let's make sure we have our computers open. And I just want to pause and say thank you, scratch.mit.edu, for such a wonderful program. Now, parents, let's begin. Make sure you're on scratch.mit.edu. Click Create. Once you click Create, you'll see at the very top a toolbar. You should see a globe. If you do not see a globe, at the very bottom you'll see languages. So you can change this program to any language you desire. So let's get right into it. The first thing we're going to do, as you recall, I showed you what the screen would look like. So now we're going to program the sprite that's on your screen. You should see an orange and white cat. So at the bottom in the middle of the palette, you should see a green box. You can click the X. That is for a tutorial. So if you want tutorials, you may click on that, or just go here to the top and click tutorials. The first thing I want to do is, here are our blocks. Here's our programming palette or block palette. Anytime you click one of these colors, it will change these blocks to that color. So let's do it together. So the motion blocks are already open, so they're blue. Now let's click on the looks block, and now they turn purple. So this is how you maneuver through your blocks palette or programming palette. So I want to go ahead and program this sprite to move. So the first thing I want to do is I need to find a block to move it. So let's go back to motion. Once I click on motion, I'm going to click on the very first one that says move 10 steps. And I'm going to move it to the center of the scripts palette. Once it's in the scripts area, then I can click on those 10. I can click that and I can see that my sprite is slightly moving. So that's one thing that you can do to start. Next thing I want to do is, remember in Scratch, there are 3 ways that you can start your sprite. You can click a green flag, you can click a sensing button, or you can click the sprite. So you will find these under events. Once you click on events, you'll see these 3 blocks here that can start your sprite moving automatically. So I want to use the flag, so I'm going to drag my flag over and I'm going to connect it to my motion block. And now when I click the flag, my sprite is moving. So now that I have my sprite moving, that's how we get our sprite programmed. So the next thing I want to do is, let's find out if I wanted a different sprite, as I mentioned earlier. If you want a different sprite, you go down here to the sprite area and you click on the sprite button. Once you click on the sprite button, it will give you an array of sprites that you can use, and you can click any that you desire, and then you will click OK. Once you're done in that sprites area, you can go back. And now we can go back to you programming your sprite. So now that we're programming our sprite, what we're going to do is we're going to click more buttons. And then from there, after we click our buttons, we're going to have our blocks in the center here on our scripts area. So once we have our scripts area full of everything that we want our sprite to do, then we can change the background if we desire. So if we desire to change the background, all we need to do is we need to click the background button. Once we click the background button down here, once you click the background button, then the backgrounds will change for your sprite. So now that you've chosen your background, I'm going to do the same. So I have my sprite and I'm going to stay with the orange and white cat that I have. So now the background I'm going to choose, I'm going to say, go ahead and choose a baseball field. So I'm going to click on baseball. And now the sprite is on a baseball field. So now I've started my story. And the wonderful thing about Scratch is Scratch can be used across subjects. There's a math component in Scratch. You can use it for science, you can use it for reading, for social studies, anything you desire. You can create your own backgrounds, your own sounds. So with all of that being said, I now have a sprite that's on the baseball field. And so he's moving 10 spaces. So let's say that I move my sprite goes off of the stage. How do I get it back? Well, what you do to one side, you can do to the other side. So I'm going to say, because I moved it 10 blocks forward, 10 steps, I'm going to bring another motion block and I'm going to connect it to my first motion block. And all I'm going to do is go inside where it says 10, and I'm going to put a negative sign. And once I put a negative sign, what that is telling the sprite to do is telling the sprite that it can back up. It's going forward, but it can also back up. So with that, that's one of the math components that you can use, or you can just go and put your mouse over your sprite and drag them back to where you want them on the screen. So basically, that's Scratch. So you can create a stage for your sprite. You can change your sprite. You can put programming blocks here in the scripts area, and you can change your programming blocks to anything you want. So I wanted to introduce this to you, so if your child desires to do some homework and you want a fun, innovative way to use Scratch, go ahead and put some of those components in there. And one more thing before I go, I'm going to look and I'm going to click on my looks blocks and I'm going to connect it. And I'm going to change the wording inside the looks block. And I'm going to type in goodbye. And now that I have clicked on my sprite is saying goodbye, because my sprite is saying thank you so much for joining us today with our sprite lesson. And remember, all students may not want to be programmers, engineers, architects, these general STEM areas. However, STEM fields span across many different fields. But just remember, the one thing that they will learn in this STEM field, in this STEM program, is how to problem solve. And these are things that they can use in their everyday lives. So thank you so much. Yay! We made it through Scratchland, and thank you for joining me with this STEM lesson.
Thank you again for all the continued support for our students. We hope that you've enjoyed this program today. Be sure to follow us on social media and check out our website for more educational updates. Once again, I'm Dr. Robert Bostic, and now you are in the know with some news that you and your family can use.